All right, so I just want to quickly talk about a lot of these dumbasses that are crying about Nintendo right now, and address a lot of the stupid arguments or criticisms and whatnot that are against Nintendo. So, as usual, whenever Nintendo announces something or makes a really good presentation, you're going to have some fucking idiots come out of the woodwork to try to nitpick and cry about any stupid thing they can cry about. And that's what's going on right now. So I suspect that most of these people are made up of, Sony, gay station, fag boys. They hadn't gotten shit from Sony in many years now. They're the kind of fucking idiots that just, they just buy a stupid PlayStation by default or whatever. Most of them are stupid casuals. Others are just diehard fans of the company, and it doesn't matter how woke and gay Sony becomes, they're just going to keep following them down that road. And most of you guys probably had a sex change by now, so very pathetic. Y'all used to be the guys talking shit about how cool and manly you were for playing, M-rated games on your PlayStation, and now you're over here just playing woke garbage from Sony. So pretty ironic, So there's those guys just running their mouth, but then you also have you have a few Xbox losers, and you know what? For a while I did like Xbox until Phil Spencer, the absolute cuck that he is, decided he was going to start putting his games on PlayStation. And that did piss off a lot of Xbox fans, but unfortunately there's a lot of loser Xbox fans who are just absolute gimps, and they keep pretending that, oh, this is Microsoft taking over Sony from within, or this is Xbox taking over PlayStation from within. This is somehow a victory and a win for Xbox. No, it is not. It is not. And you know what? Even if Xbox is making some good money, they're not doing anything to try to put Sony out of the competition, take Sony out, take PlayStation out of the gaming industry. They're not trying to take out the competition by doing that. They're just being stupid cucks because they're pathetic. Phil Spencer's pathetic. He might be a closeted PlayStation fan, who knows. And you guys are even more pathetic for defending them. I mean, you bought the Xbox system for exclusives, right? But now you're pretending that you bought it for Game Pass. So what is your real reward for buying an Xbox? Because, they're doing this whole thing, oh, everything's an Xbox. We want our games everywhere. Okay. So if you want to do third-party and multi-plat, why would you create your own system? Why would you continue making hardware? Unless it's to reward people who buy your hardware, right? You would think they would do something like that, right? Like, hey, we're going to put our games everywhere, but people who choose to buy an Xbox, we're going to treat them like premium members, like we're going to treat them like, like loyal members, and we're going to actually give them exclusives. We're going to give them these exclusives. But no, he's not doing that, right? He basically said there's no red line. He's going to put all Xbox games and exclusives to PlayStation 5. So, you know what? Phil Spencer is a fucking cuck. All right? Xbox and Microsoft, they don't even like you. They don't appreciate you guys enough, because if they did, they would say, you know what? You guys continue to buy our system. You get to have these exclusive games. Anyone who refuses to buy our system is going to be left out. Simple as that, especially when PlayStation continues to block games and not put games on Xbox and all of that. They try everything they can to keep to keep you guys, the Xbox players, from getting games. So y'all are pretty much like second class or third class citizens at this point. You're being treated like crap from not only by PlayStation but by Xbox. Xbox is treating you like crap too, by basically giving away exclusive to PlayStation. So, but you guys continue to defend Xbox. You continue to pretend that Xbox is dominating and they're winning. They're making all this money or whatever. They're screwing you guys over. They're not treating you like premium members or anything like that, but y'all are just bragging about the amount of games they're publishing to rival platforms. And now you idiots have the audacity to run your mouths and talk shit about Nintendo and say, well, you know, Game Pass is looking really good now because, you know, Nintendo's games look pretty pricey or whatever. So there's them, and then there's the other stupid ass entitled gamers out there who I guess they do play all consoles, but they're just fucking dumb entitled fucks who are also crying about the prices, you know. I am seeing a lot of comments of people saying $450. Nope, I ain't buying that. I ain't buying that. That's not worth $450. Oh, really? So let's see. The Nintendo Switch 2 has the ability. You can play Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 2 with 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second at 4K is freaking amazing. That is some amazing power. And this is handheld mode. Again, this is freaking handheld mode we are talking about. Or you could choose performance mode, which will be, let's see, that would be 1080p at 120 frames per second. That's pretty damn powerful, if you ask me, especially for a handheld gaming device. So, you fucking idiots who, you know, you've been crying like bitches for so many years about Nintendo. You know, Nintendo just, you know, I don't like them because, you know, they don't have the power. They don't have the power. Always crying about how they didn't have power, even though the GameCube was very powerful and it had a ginormous library of exclusives. And you stupid fucks still didn't buy it. That was the best gaming console ever. The GameCube is proof that gamers are fucking morons. They're just a bunch of sheep, basically. But you guys, you've been crying so much for, well, Nintendo just needs to hurry up and get with the times, get with the generation, and make their consoles more powerful. You've been crying about this for freaking decades now. They finally do. They priced the damn thing at $450, which is really good because that is cheaper than a PlayStation 5 by $50. Cheaper than that piece of shit PlayStation 5 Pro, which is the biggest ripoff ever made and which costs $700. And you fucking idiots are crying about the price. Okay, just shut the fuck up. I think most of you guys who are complaining about the price are probably just stupid Nintendo critics, Nintendo haters, whatever. That's what I'm going to assume. There's nothing wrong with the price at all. As far as the console is concerned, $450 is a perfectly reasonable price. It comes with the camera. If I'm not mistaken, that camera comes with it. And it's more than just the power, right? It's not just the fact that it's very powerful. Look, I mean, all the other things you have. You got the cursor, the mouse functionality, which is really cool. You got 3D audio, which is also really cool. There's probably more. Oh, it's a bigger screen, of course. It's a much bigger screen. So it's a huge improvement from the regular Switch. I'm seeing too many stupid asses just acting like it's really not that much of an improvement. Really? Are you kidding me? So just stupid entitled gamers. And it just shows, like, if you're that entitled, it's probably because you just play video games too much. You're spoiled. You don't do anything else with your time. And that's really pathetic if you ask me. So you should probably just get outside sometime. The game's being overpriced. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be $80 for Mario Kart. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. It is a huge Mario Kart game. It's going to be way bigger and better than the last one. $10 more than just $70. You know, we're used to $70 games, big games. This one's going to be $80. So hopefully that won't be the norm going forward. But again, you guys crying about this and making a huge outrage, I mean, give me a break. That is not that big of a deal in my opinion. Especially if you're one of these fucking fools who are going to pay $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6. All right? So I could go on and say more, but I think I've pretty much rambled on you morons enough.